They say there are doors that should never be opened. Doors that hide things no guest should see. And yet, there are people unable to resist. People who cross the threshold, and when they return changed. What you are about to hear is not an urban legend. It's not a creepypasta. It's a documented case with real reports, with a real protagonist. A room that has been sealed for over 2 decades. A room where a single man entered and emerged completely broken. This is the complete and uncensored story of room 237 at the Ridgeview Hotel. The room where no one should sleep. But someone did. The Ridgeview Hotel is located in a quiet area of Colorado. Surrounded by an old highway, a dense forest, and a silence that envelopes the entire place both day and night. Built in 1928, this colonial-style building became a luxurious retreat for upper-class travelers. Long hallways, old carpets, squeaky elevators, spacious rooms but with that lingering smell of damp wood that no matter how much they clean. The kind of hotel where you can lose track of time. And where every room has its own story. But none as dark as 237. The first time room 237 caused problems was in 1994. A couple stayed there one weekend. They didn't report anything unusual during the day, but at 2:13 a.m. they called reception. The woman was shouting that she heard footsteps in the bathroom. Soft footsteps, slow, like someone was walking barefoot on the tiles. When the guard went upstairs, he found the room completely silent. Nothing out of the ordinary, except for something he described as the feeling that someone had just walked out. The couple left the hotel at 2:50 a.m. without collecting their luggage. According to the report, they uttered only one sentence before fleeing. "Don't open that room again." In the following months, guests who ignored the superstitions began leaving very similar comments. "I feel like someone is watching me from around the corner. The TV turns on by itself, but it doesn't show an image, only reflections. I heard a woman humming in the bathroom. The walls sound like they're scratching from the inside." The cleaning staff started refusing to go in alone. One of them, Martha, who had worked there for 15 years, quit after an incident. She swore someone touched her shoulder while she was making the bed. But when she turned around, there was no one there. All these events accumulated until, finally, in 1997, management decided to close the room. They sealed the door. They removed it from the computer system. The room ceased to exist for the hotel. The plaque with the number was covered in dust. The lock rusted. The light above the door stopped working. And for 7 years, no one ever went inside again. Until the day a man showed up asking specifically for the 237. Thomas Rourke, investigative journalist, 39 years old. He had written about abandoned asylums, houses with documented exorcisms, and hotels with unexplained deaths. But he had never been to a place where the staff begged him not to enter. He arrived with a notebook, a handheld camera, and a digital recorder. His idea was simple: to spend a night in apartment 237 and write an article debunking the employees' fantasy. He pressured the manager. He threatened to publish that the hotel was hiding a death. He insisted and insisted, and finally got the key. On one condition: the door must not be locked. Staff needed to be able to get in if something happened. And thanks to his tape recorder, we know what happened in there.
I just walked in. The smell is strange, like old dampness mixed with perfume. The light is flickering. Could it be the wiring? There's a noise behind the wall, like someone is scratching from inside. I thought I saw a shadow in the mirror, but I'm not sure. The bathroom is freezing. My breath is visible, like I'm outside.
At 2:23 a.m., Rourke says the last line before the abrupt cut.
There's someone in the bathroom. I can see him in the reflection.
The staff went up immediately. The door was ajar, just as requested. But what they found inside was inexplicable. The bed was completely disheveled. The curtains were torn down. The bathroom mirror cracked as if something had hit it from the inside. And on the wall at shoulder height, nail marks, fresh marks, human. Rourke sat in the corner staring blankly, trembling, muttering the same phrase over and over. I wasn't alone. I wasn't alone. I wasn't alone. Rourke was taken to the hospital. He had no injuries. There were no drugs in his system. But he never spoke again. Doctors described it as severe trauma with no identifiable cause. The manager resigned 3 months later. 2 cleaners requested transfers. And the technicians who reviewed the recording claimed to have heard a female whisper saying, "Don't look," just before the recording cut off. There are 3 possible explanations that have been discussed for years. 1. A death that occurred in the room in 1965. 2. A mass psychological phenomenon shared by guests and staff. 3. A gas leak from the old boilers that caused hallucinations. But none of these theories explains the marks on the wall, nor the mirror being broken from the inside, nor the state in which Thomas Rourke was found. Today, room 237 remains sealed. The lock was welded shut from the outside, and it no longer appears in the hotel's records. It is officially a ghost space. Perhaps we'll never know what Rourke saw that night. Perhaps we shouldn't know. But if you ever stay at the Ridgeview and see an unnumbered door at the end of the hall, remember this. It's locked for a reason.